This experiment you have roped me into.
Yes.
So how does it work? Like, where do I start? So I've got a consent form.
Yes.
Obviously, anything with genetics, you have to consent.
Exactly. So we've given you all the information that you should require to decide
Yeah.
whether you want to partake. So with this study, because genetics is obviously a sensitive subject, everything you provide for us here from now on is completely anonymous. So there's no way to trace anything that you give us back to you personally, individually.
Okay.
And we're not doing the sequencing of the entire genome. We're just looking at a few very, very, very tiny bits of the genome that we think are relevant. And we're going to extract information about those. And we're going to see how those things differ between people. And then we're going to ask you a whole lot of questions on a computer about your social life. So
Okay.
how many friends you have, how often you see them, about your past history, about your personal relationships.
Interesting.
There is some sensitive information in there, obviously.
Yeah.
But part of the reason we make it confidential and anonymous is that no one will ever
Okay.
trace anything back to you. So
Yeah.
that information is really useful in, and sort of is going to provide a rich data set
Yeah.
where we can compare the genetics to your answers on that.
And you're also going to scan my hand, aren't
We're
you?
also going to scan your hand because one of the potential sort of neurotransmitters that affect human behavior is testosterone. So
Right.
testosterone
But I don't have any of that.
varies greatly. You do have some, you just have a lot less than males. So there's a very, very interesting phenomenon where in the womb, when the fetus develops, before it changes into either a male or a female fetus, testosterone is produced in the womb, and the amount of testosterone varies the expression of the genes that change people into males and females.
Right.
And the interesting thing about these genes, they not only change whether people develop into a male or female, they change obviously the male physical appearance, but they also, by pure random coincidence, change the length of this finger.
Yes, I've read about that.
So, so what we can do is we can measure the length of this finger, which doesn't really change much with testosterone, and the length of this finger, which changes quite a bit depending on the testosterone. And by looking at the difference between the two, we can get a very, very rough estimate of how much testosterone you're exposed to in the womb, which affects your brain development, which potentially affects your behavior as well.
This is
Scary
deep, isn't
stuff.
it? It is scary. So we're looking at my testosterone and my genetics,
Yep.
and it makes...
And your social world. And we're going to put
Yeah.
it all together to see where the relationships lie.
Right, okay, let's do this.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Very good. Come follow me.
Okay.